In today's episode, I'll be giving my reaction and recap of the 11th episode in Survivor's 48th season, titled Coconut Etiquette. Let's dive right into Coconut Etiquette.
Do something, man. People are questioning you.
Shut up. Shut up. Okay, yep, do that. Sure, guys.
Stupid and dumb. Just an idiot. Get your shit together, son.
Fuck it. I loved it.
Welcome to the dub cast.
Season 48 continues to be disappointing with lackluster results. Another episode that could have been an email, unfortunately. It's looking pretty obvious for what's going to happen, so that's always not exciting for Survivor. I think, say what you will about the new era, it's been pretty fluid in who's going to be voted out, the voting blocks, the alliances always shifting. This season is like an old school season where there's one dominating alliance and they're just picking people off one by one by one. Y'all out there making fun of my boy Dalton Ross for saying it's old school Survivor. This is old school Survivor, man. I mean, essentially in gameplay wise, big alliance forms together, onion people out, and then you start picking the people off the onion. It's pretty sad, man. But I mean, this season I thought that at the beginning, the first couple episodes were really good. Then ever since pretty much the charity boot, it's been pretty lackluster. Not a lot of exciting moves. I think this is lining up to be the worst season of the new era. I hate to say it, but the pre-merge is really what holds it up there. We do have 2 episodes left, so it'll be over soon. But the season's been pretty disappointing so far. I'm not sure. I see a lot of people online who even think highly of it. But let's dive right into this episode. So we start out with Mary. Obviously, the vote was either between her or Star. Last episode, Star ends up going home, so Mary is on the bottom of the tribe, being that alternative option. But she's not giving up yet. She's pushing to get rid of Eva and Joe, which seems to be the downfall of everybody, just because everyone knows they're the biggest, tightest duo in the game, but nobody wants to make a move after them. And Mary's trying to sing the same tune. She pitches Mitch and Camilla on it. Obviously, Mitch and Camilla are on the outside of that core 4 alliance that everybody knows about. And Mitch says, we have to do something about this, which Mitch said this last episode. He might have said it 2 episodes ago. Mitch, unfortunately, I think had a nice story at the beginning of the season, but he's becoming hated online, and respectfully, I am not liking Mitch's storyline here. I don't know what he's going to do. He has to make him, is there going to be a move? I don't think there's even going to be a move. I don't know. Mitch is just kind of sauntering about, going along with the plan. 2 weeks ago on Twitter, he's like, we don't have the numbers. Bro, now you really don't have the numbers after this episode. I don't know what these people are doing, but nonetheless, Joe wants to be like traditional, like Colby Donaldson, take the hardest path to the end and stick with Kyle, Shaheen, and Eva. Kyle, though, is contemplating flipping on Joe and Eva or flipping on Camilla. He has to make a choice coming to a head. Obviously, Camilla is his number 1 in the game. They've been a strong duo throughout, but he has told Joe his background on him getting arrested and stuff. I talked about that a couple weeks ago, but it's going to come down to it. What's he going to do? Definitely flip, right? Yeah, so Mary kind of sees the writing on the wall, and this is still early in the episode. She's pissed off. No one's really listening to her, and she takes it out on a coconut with a machete. She's like, bow, bow, bow. Little concerning throwbacks to Matthew in season 6 with the machete. Also that funny clip of Reem going up to David with the machete. She's like, we're voting Kylie tonight. He's like, can you put that on the machete? Anyway, good season. Not this season. 10 seasons ago. Season 38, so there you go. Mary beating up the coconut. Eva's upset with Mary for eating coconut because they don't have a lot of coconut left. But Mary's like, I don't get to go on any of these rewards, and you guys choose me to go. I'm going out anyway, so I might as well eat. I thought this was a W crash out from Mary. She's bringing entertainment. Like, if you're going out, might as well sink the ship, pour the rice out, Nyanka style. I it wasn't Nyanka that did that. It was the girl from Kagiana. Jatia. Even though Jatia stayed, so maybe, could help inspire some ideas in people. This prompts Kyle to once again be thinking about struggling with the idea of voting Joe or Eva out. He's told them a lot. They've been his closest allies in the game. He doesn't know if he can do it. And all of a sudden, a boat pulls up. one person is to go on a journey. I believe this was Rachel last season that went on this journey. Everyone wants to go on this journey, so they didn't just all come to a consensus. Obviously, there's only 7 people left in the game. Everyone draws a rock, and who gets to go but Eva? Eva, who got the advantage placed in her chips. Eva, who has an idol already, gets to go on this advantage. So, I mean, not go on this advantage, go on this journey. So the challenge is you have to stack tiles in a circle while using the foot to spin the disc. If you complete 4 levels, you get your vote back, which I think it's stupid. You walk into these journeys and just lose your vote automatically, but New Era Survivor. And then if you stack 8 levels, you get a Knowledge is Power, which is absurd at Final 7 to be putting that into the game. And I'm surprised they're still trying to put in Knowledge is Power into the game after the online backlash and after it kind of flamed out past season 42, but here we are. So she stacks the 4 levels, decides not to go for the Knowledge is Power, which conveniently she's like the perfect person to have gone on this journey, because if she wasn't, everyone knows she has an idol, so they could take her idol with the Knowledge is Power. But she gets to keep everything, keeps her vote, keeps her Knowledge is Power, also has the safety without power. So she comes back to camp and she decides to tell everyone the truth, which, I mean, she didn't tell everyone about the overnight journey, but she did tell like half the game. She told her alliance, so that's good. Might as well tell the truth. Like, you have a 4-person alliance in a group of 7, you're gonna win out when they're all playing scared. So she tells everyone about what happened, and she's glad that other people didn't go. She's kind of like boasting in their face, like, you guys would have loved that journey because you could take my idol, but now you can't go. Haha. Like, not like that, but like semi infers that. And the conversation continues around camp with everyone being in consensus that Joe is going to win at the end. Shaheen, I think this is an interesting like side plot for Shaheen. I don't really know what's going on. He keeps talking about how he has his relationships and doesn't close any doors, which I do think is the correct way to go about playing Survivor. However, I just don't know where people are going to respect Shaheen over Joe. I guess there was Dodo music over him saying he thinks he could beat Joe at the end. I didn't pick up on that, but I thought maybe this was like a Shaheen gets a couple of votes because he's got some good relationships with people. I don't know, but I don't know. I just don't think it's in the cards for Shaheen. I think he's going to be wildly surprised if he's at the end with Eva and Joe. And at Tribal Council, I didn't write any notes for Tribal Council because it was pretty boring, but Shaheen, when Mary talks about relationships and now how everyone burned her, he's like surprised. So maybe that's kind of Shaheen's arc, is like trusting too much into people, not doing enough work. I don't know, but it seems like Shaheen does have like we see him approach Say and hear Say out. Chrissy, I don't know how his relationship was with Chrissy or Cedric, but I mean, I think Shaheen could be like second place, get a vote or two. I don't know. We get to the immunity challenge. It's a wheelbarrow maze. Basically, you have to go through like 3 stages of having a vase on a wheelbarrow, and then it's the classic arch puzzle where you have to put the pieces like boom, 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 boom. And there's also a reward attached: sushi and more. You get like noodles, chicken teriyaki, blah blah blah, and also chocolate cake. So a pretty stacked reward. Camilla wins immunity for the first time this season, and Joe had the right pieces on the puzzle, but he had the wrong eye, which I'm like, that's gonna be another classic. Like, it's not as bad as like the Ben spelling immunity, like misspelling immunity barely because he actually needed that immunity. Joe doesn't need this. He's gonna win the game. So it's funny. I thought that was a little bit stupid that you had to also have the eyes. And Jeff even fucks that up. He's like, my bad, my bad. So interesting to see when Jeff fails a little bit. He picks Mitch, or Camilla picks Mitch for reward, and then Eva, which Eva is the most fed person in the game of Survivor. She probably didn't even lose any weight. She's just eating every week on these rewards, which is like every day, so she has a nice meal every day. She's basically just having 1 meal a day. And the fake plan is supposedly Mary. They talk about it at reward. Camilla and Mitch are there with Eva, so they can't obviously bring up Joe's name, but they're saying Mary as like the fake plan, and they're gonna have to go back and see if they can actually pull off the Joe move. So Kyle randomly just has trusted Camille the whole game, so he decides to open up and tell her that he's a lawyer, not a teacher. When they're talking about being in the final together, obviously people are more incentivized not to give lawyers money, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. I think the whole profession thing, hiding your professions, is stupid. Especially like if I was out there and I had to hide my profession, I wouldn't be able to do it because I don't like. I guess I could pretend to be working somewhere else. I don't know, but don't think that should have a big impact on the game. And Kyle says it would be good if at least one of them will be sitting at the final three, and Camilla says we should both be sitting at the final three. So maybe that's something to look out for in the coming weeks. Mary has pretty much seen the writing on the wall as consistently throughout the episode as she has. Just tells Joe, I'm writing your name down. Sorry, but I think you're the biggest threat to win. I think everybody knows it. And he becomes a little bit paranoid and has a weird conversation with Mitch and Shaheen, or it's either Shaheen or Kyle. And he's like, what's the case? What do we do now that she's writing my name down? What if she has an idol? Which I think Joe is like not really like I feel like Joe's game is kind of suspect. Like, if he goes on to win the season, it's a great game, but there's moments where it's like, what were we doing? You know, a lot of people are already putting him as the best winner of the new era. I I got D number one. I mean, I don't. I think you could even make a case for others. I just I don't know. It's kind of a shaky game where he has moments like these, like the Mary jury mismanagement. Like I could see Mary voting for Shaheen based off the events of this episode at the end, or voting for somebody else. Um, we'll talk about David in a second. But yeah, so Joe kind of brings this up as like, someone take one for me. Like, dude, everyone's here to win the game, not to be your dummy like backup vote. Um, Finally, we get to tribal council. It's a yada yada affair mostly. Didn't really know anything important from that happening. We get to the votes. Unfortunately, I will mention before this episode, I was spoiled on who goes home because I took a couple days to watch it. Mary goes out in a 6-1 vote, and someone from the jury stands up for her. David. He just stands there. That was honestly the moment of the episode. It's going to become a meme. This season, say what you will always have the memes. David standing up at the jury. Mitch's video of him when he was supposed to get voted out a couple weeks ago and then didn't, when he goes like this in the party that's been going around the world. So we'll always have the memes, guys, no matter what. Even these bad seasons can provide memes. But David stands up for Mary. I saw the clip on Twitter with him just doing it with no music. I thought that was funny. So yeah, Mary's gone. You know, I thought Mary had a stronger beginning of the season. She kind of faded out. I think that's due to the edit as well. They weren't really showing her doing a lot of stuff. So, unfortunate for Mary. She joins the jury, which now has 5 people on it, and there's only 6 people left in the game. Only 2 weeks to go. I think this, there's a world where this gets really interesting and spicy, but I just don't see that happening due to, how the game's been going so far. So, this will be the last week. I give my top 3 and top 3 to win, and then top 3 are next. Next week I'll do top 2, and then it'll be the finale. So top 3 to win, I got Joe still number 1. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Everyone in the game just stated that Joe's gonna win, and they've had their chance this week, last week, a couple times to take him out, make a move against him or Eva, at least cut off Eva, but no one even seems to be willing to do that. So it's really going to come down to Kyle and Shaheen. I don't think both of them will agree to flip at the same time. Number 2, I have Kyle. I think Kyle, I haven't had him in my top 3 a lot of the season, but he's kind of slowly been getting that story arc. He's been a consistent narrator throughout. He did have that package of his background a couple weeks ago. Did have personal content in the early part of the season, so I got Kyle at number 2. Number 3, I still have Eva. She has a lot of holes in her stuff. I mean, her gameplay is pretty basic, and she does have a good story, but I just don't know. Like I mentioned before, I think she's the youngest person there. I don't know if she can garner the respect of the jury. I don't know. I think it's a long shot for Eva to be there or to win, because she is probably going to be there with Joe, who I just think people respect way more. Top 3 out next, I got Mitch number 1. I mean, if the cycle continues, Kyle will just fight for Camilla to stay, and they'll just go vote Mitch out. Mitch doesn't really do anything for a lot of people unless you need him to make a move for people. He's in that group of 6, but there's the 6 of them left now. So now what they cut out the extra 2, it's going to be him or Camilla next week. I think it'll be Mitch, but who knows? Hence why number 2 out next, I got Camilla. I just think she has the strong bond with Kyle that could potentially keep her over someone like Mitch. Like, who's Mitch's strongest bond left? There's really, who is it? I don't know. Number 3, I got Kyle. If Joe, Eva, and Xiaoheen are going to make a move, maybe they pull in Mitch and go against the strong 2 of Kyle and Camilla. Maybe somebody cracks the case of Kyle and Camilla being pretty close. So that's why I got Kyle number 3. Also funny because I have number 2 winning, but once he's out of the game, I mean, it's really like whatever. So only person I mentioned is Xiaoheen. I think Xiaoheen's bound to be like either the final 5 boot or just second place. Like I don't think Xiaoheen's winning this game. Um, that the Thomas episode I just think is really bad for him, and I don't know. It's been a rocky road for Shaheen. I don't know what his path is to winning because he's trying to go with Joe and Eva. So that'll do it. Still made 15 minutes out of a pretty boring episode. This merge as it's gone on has been even getting worse and worse. The last 3 episodes, especially, have been pretty. Or not the David episode was good. The Chrissy episode was bad. This episode was bad. Last week was bad. Um, so yeah, the double boot was pretty bad because it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's been pretty lackluster. It's been pretty apparent what's happening. So hopefully something switches up in these last 2 episodes. Who's your guys' pick to win? Who do you think will be out next week? We have the final 6 round next week, and then back to a traditional finale. Thank God CBS didn't do the 2-parter like 47. Um, Besides that, content stays flowing on the channel. We had UFC with Shane coming out. I mean, it came out already. UFC's in a couple hours, so go check that out if you want some last minute picks and bets. Besides that, I had a nice stream with Ali and Mikey talking NBA playoffs. Before that, we had Severance season 2 reaction recap review, and then we'll have the tier list coming out tomorrow. And besides that, movie reviews, Hunt for Red October is on the docket. It's edited, it's done. That'll be the next video on the channel. My cousin Vinny, and then you for season review and recap as well. So whatever you want here. If you like TVs, if you like TVs, if you like TV, if you like movies, if you like sports, this is the place to be. The Dubcast. Appreciate you liking, subscribing, watching the video. I'm more looking forward to season 50. I'm kind of contemplating just making season 49 like a short form content because I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it, but I can't. I don't want to be like short content form for 49 and then come back for 50. I will have a 50 cast reaction coming in a couple weeks as well when they fly out. I may be on the cruise, so I'm just thinking about that now. That might be bad timing, but we'll see. So, as always, be easy, y'all.